remember me and my dad having this conversation where he told me that I should never feel bad for no man because only men get a pure 24 hours in a day. And I said, Dad, what you mean by that? And he said, think about it. Men don't have kids. They don't have to fight a 28-day hormonal cycle like women. So there's no reason for them to not have no money, be broke, not have a job, not be in shape, or be stupid. He said if women can have kids, be single parents, keep up with their household, go to school, and go to work, then it's no reason for no man to be out here relying on no woman. And as I got older, it just became more true. Like, it just rings true every time. So when I see that homeless man on this app begging, talking about how he need a place to stay and he ain't got nothing, like, my dad's voice just come in my mind. He said even if a man have kids, it's still no excuse, because most of the time the child rearing goes on to the woman anyway. And he said it be men who they'll be married and their wife will stay home to take care of the kids, put her dreams, goals, education, job, like, to the side in order for the man to get ahead, believing that it's going to benefit the entire family. So he said only men get a pure 24 hours. There's no reason for them to be stupid, bad-bodied, broke, or anything else. He said if a man is going through a hard time, I should not feel bad for him, because either he's going through a hard time, like the life cycle is just not up for him, and that hard time is going to make him stronger and he's going to get through it, or he's going through a hard time because he's not taking advantage of the pure 24 hours and opportunities that he has. This was the advice he gave me, because he said I should not. He said no woman should be out here taking care of no man, and specifically to me, he was just giving me a warning saying that I should never give no man no place to stay or no money, because he got a pure 24 hours. Why he can't go out here and get his own money? His logic, oh, well, if you got a job and you have periods and you get cramps and you can, like, you know, it's pregnant women that's out here working, but he ain't working, that don't make no sense. So I be saying that all the time now. Like, that's my favorite thing to say. Men get a pure 24 hours. Like, and even if a man is a single dad, 9 times out of 10, he got female family members that are helping him. His mother, his sister, his female cousins. Somebody is helping him. So still, it's no reason. And it's just so true. Like, it's just so true. Because you'll hear men even make comments about women's weight. But then when you look at them, it's like, shouldn't you be, like, ripped? Like, you should be in better shape than anybody because you a man. You have a pure 24 hours to go to the gym, go to work, get some money. Like, there's nothing holding you back. And my dad said that he said that he didn't want to hear men complaining about government assistance either, because women get government assistance because they the ones who are the ones most of the time taking care of the kids, and that men get a pure 24 hours. So, yeah, just passing on the knowledge. On my last video, I said that only men have a pure 24 hours, and that it's no excuse for why they shouldn't get ahead, they should be broke, bad body, stupid, or anything else. And a lot of people felt me, but a lot of people didn't feel me, so we finna talk about that. One of the main reasons why, and it wasn't just men who felt some way, it was a lot of them. You had a lot of men who agreed with me, but you had a lot of women and men who actually didn't agree with me. The reason why that triggered them was because it forces them to reflect on their own choices. For the men, it forces them to reflect on how they're using their time, how they're using their opportunities, and how they're using their privilege. That's why one of the most common responses was something about, like, billionaires owning everything and men having a hard time and we all go through everything and da-da-da-da-da. I already addressed that in the video. A lot of women wanted to argue and be contrarian about it because it forces them to reflect on the men in their life. It forces them to reflect on how they raising their sons. It forces them to reflect on their uncles, their dads, the men that they have dated. A lot of women don't want to believe that men are simply dating them for assistance. And I was talking about all men, because I, for one, don't give no excuses to no white men, because you literally live in a system that was built for you, by you. Like, there's no way you can't get no leg up. But you also had a lot of black men in my comments trying to use white supremacy and racism as an excuse. Absolutely not. This is not to say that racism and white supremacy are not real hindrances in the community, but black women are dealing with race-based oppression and sex-based oppression. And if we can turn around and become one of the most educated demographics in society in order to combat that oppression or counteract that oppression, why do we not see the same initiative coming from our peers, our counterparts? And the reason we don't see that is because a lot of those men have been coddled by women, their mothers, their sisters, their aunties, and the women that they date, dummies, because those women have come up with excuses and they use white supremacy as a reason for why they don't have to live up to their potential. So many men, black men, have heard black women use the white man as an excuse. The white man is the reason. The white man is the reason. The white man oppression is real, but it's not the reason, because why aren't y'all as a group coming together to counteract this oppression that you say y'all are dealing with? Over the years, we have seen black men be gangbangers, come together for sports, come together to bash women on these podcasts. Like, you can get on TikTok on any given day and just scroll the lives and see men sitting on panels arguing about wigs, arguing about 50-50, dumb shit that ain't got nothing to do with your oppression from other males. But black men in particular have been provided all these built-in excuses for why they cannot compete with other men. You have a special group of black men who are out here making it happen. They didn't come from the most ideal situations, but even those men don't have excuses for other men because they feel like they come from the same circumstances. So if they can do something and make something shake and get some motion, there's no reason for other men to be doing it. And those men was in my comments agreeing with me as well. Many women felt offended by that because you're raising your son with these built-in excuses. You're raising him to grow up and rely on you and other women like the women that they date. So it triggers you because now you have to reflect on how you're raising him. Nobody said that men don't fall on hard times. I actually addressed that in the video. But a man's hard time is way different than a woman's hard time. In fact, many men have been raised by single mothers, and you watch your mother work 2 or 3 jobs and rob Peter to pay Paul to make sure you got shoes and games and football money and all this other shit. So as a grown man, you have internalized that to believe that women are supposed to help you and assist you in any way, shape, or form versus you getting out here and doing it on your own. This is why so many men, and I agree with them, like in the manosphere, in the red pill space, and just in general, they say it's very important for the man to be in other men's life, because then those men will grow up with more initiative because they seen that from the men that they was around. When we was kids, my brother would go out and knock on people's doors to take out their trash, to clean their driveway, to rake their yard, to mow their grass. My brother, like, he ain't perfect. Of course, no man is perfect, but my brother ain't never not found no way to get no money. It's men I dated who ain't never found no way to get no money. Have they fell on hard times? Yes, but they grind their way through it. And after that, they felt a lot more masculine. They knew that they rose to that challenge and they didn't need no help. In fact, you can even see this indirectly in the dating pool. Like, most men are dating women for assistance. So you'll come across way more men who don't have all their stuff together and they need you to help them get their stuff together than you come across men who have everything. You'll even have men tell you, like, directly, indirectly, I don't need a woman for a place to stay. I don't need a woman to help me in the dating pool, because even other men know that they are up against a backdrop of men who don't have no type of accountability or initiative, and that most men are out here dating and seeking out women for them to get help. In fact, it was one man in my comments who said that what I'm saying is a dangerous rhetoric. Yeah, for you and men like you, because if the women that you live with and use see my video and internalize it and it start making the wheels spin in their head, now you homeless. You ain't got no place to stay. Now you don't get to drive her car while she at work. Now you don't get to ask her to cash app you or send you money for you to go gamble it or buy weed or go spend it on whatever the fuck else that y'all be spending it on. That's why it's dangerous. Think of how many men would be fucked up out here if women decide, all right, I'm done helping. I'm done taking care of him. This go for women. Like, you got grown ass men in their 30s, 40s, and 50s still living at their grandma's house, still living at their mama's house, living with their sister, living off their baby mama and stuff. Imagine if all those women said, you know what, you gotta figure something out. Think of how many men would be in a fucked up situation. Exactly. even with myself, I feel like it's no reason why I shouldn't have a job. There's no reason why I shouldn't have a place to stay. There's no reason why I shouldn't be paying my own bills. So I'm not going to give that courtesy to other men when I don't even give that courtesy to myself. And if you a woman and you want to argue against it, go find you a homeless man and go sponsor him. Go let him live in your house and give him your check, boo. If you a man, why don't y'all get together and help each other? I'm not understanding. But yeah.